Hello, everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. Please note that all times for this overview will be in Pacific time. Monday begins on a progressive note, with the moon in go-getter Aries, forming an empowering trine to energetic Mars in adventurous Sagittarius at 2:13 a.m., so our dreams could be especially vivid, while any night owls could experience a second wind that keeps them wide awake. The morning will arrive with a strong dose of positivity when the moon moves into a square with excitable Jupiter in Cancer at 10:14 a.m., though the mood will turn stable and steady when the moon shifts into Taurus at 7:13 p.m. There might be a few last-minute fireworks when the moon makes a late square to sneaky Pluto in Aquarius at 10:19 p.m., as Pluto loves to ruffle feathers even at the best of times. The moon will proceed through Taurus all Tuesday without making any particular angles, but the energy will be riveted by a rare sextile between Venus in Sagittarius and Pluto, making it feel like love can encompass anything. Venus happens to be the ruler of Taurus, so with the moon spending the day in the sign of the bull, the vibrations should be especially abundant and enticing. Wednesday will be anything but quiet, as the moon opposes chatty Mercury in Scorpio at 6:06 a.m., stirring up conversations before forming back-to-back sextiles, first to Jupiter at 9:56 a.m., then Saturn at 11:15 a.m., helping us find a balance between enthusiasm and realism. Ideas formed at this time can prove very promising, both in the present and the long-term future. There may be a surprise in store at 5:07 p.m. when the moon conjoins rebellious Uranus in the last few degrees of Taurus, but a gentle sextile to mystical Neptune in Pisces at 5:49 p.m. will add a soothing touch. The last transit of the day comes at 6:48 p.m. as the moon enters buzzy Gemini in preparation for Thursday's full moon. The fourth begins with a lunar opposition to Venus at 1:48 a.m., so some of us may be inclined to a late-night tryst, but Venus also loves to treat herself, so others may indulge in a bit of after-midnight online retail therapy. The full moon in Gemini illuminates the skies at 3:13 p.m., ushering in a potent wave of buzzy energy, inspiring us to connect and exchange ideas, so a fun night out with friends or spending the evening reconnecting with your siblings could be especially cathartic. Gemini happens to be ruled by Mercury, and with Mercury recently turned direct after its November retrograde phase, this full moon will feel like we can finally begin to see things clearly again and get a grip on the information being presented to us. The fifth gets off to an energizing start as the moon opposes Mars at 6:22 a.m., which could make early risers of us all. The morning could feel like a bit of a slog as it progresses, however, when the moon squares stoic Saturn at 10:18 a.m., forcing us to focus on the facts in front of us rather than more exciting possibilities. Fortunately, there is an opportunity to let go of old drama at 2:03 p.m. as Mars locks into a positive trine with healing Chiron, creating actionable opportunities to release baggage that is no longer serving us. Chiron wants to help us move beyond old hurts in order to become stronger, happier versions of ourselves. So this trine can feel like a major weight is being lifted from our shoulders. The moon will square Neptune at 4:54 p.m., so we might have a difficult time maintaining our focus and could be easily distracted by fanciful notions or shiny objects. The usual Friday night fun may sound a bit much when the moon enters nurturing Cancer at 5:54 p.m., so many of us may choose to have a quiet night in and putter around the house, rather than hitting up the town and painting it whatever color we like. The weekend will be full of exciting and stimulating energy. On the 6th, Mercury in Scorpio makes a beautiful trine to Jupiter at 5:04 a.m., inspiring us all with a sense of positivity, one which will permeate the skies well into the rest of the day. New friendships or other connections forged during this alignment can bring a lot of joy into our lives, so this would be a wonderful day to socialize. Sunday will be anything but restful, as the moon conjoins Jupiter at 8:50 a.m., giving the morning a celebratory feeling. However, we can also make useful plans as Mercury trines Saturn at 8:57 a.m., helping us create real action from concrete ideas. The moon will then make its own trine to Saturn at 10:50 a.m., followed by a trine to Mercury at 10:58 a.m., so the mood will be especially conducive to conversations that are both productive and enjoyable. The afternoon could bring a jolt of electricity when the moon sextiles Uranus at 4:43 p.m., and we can add a dash of creativity to the mix as the moon then trines inspired Neptune at 5:44 p.m. We may feel the urge to end the day with a bang when the moon enters expressive Leo at 6:48 p.m., so just because Monday is around the corner doesn't mean you can't have a fun Sunday night. The last transit of the week arrives at 10:17 p.m. as the moon opposes Pluto, reminding us to take other people's opinions into consideration, rather than only focusing on our own input. A balanced approach will help you wind things down on a positive note. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next week with the next segment. Until then, be safe and well.